What's going on? Welcome back to Normal Baseball. Today we are continuing our 2023 Will Be Team Projection Series. Today we are talking about the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's get into it. What's going on? Welcome back to Normal Baseball. I'm Alex Normal Dog. That's Lewis. And today we are continuing our 2023 Will Be Series. Today we have the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Snakes, the D-backs, the whatever else you want to call them. This is a series where we basically say how each team will be in the 2023 season. How this works is we made first let me say, the Diamondbacks finished with a 74-88 record last season, which was fourth place in the NL West. They have a lot of exciting guys this season. They made some moves this offseason that we will be talking about. Let's get into it. So we did power rankings of every team in baseball. We graded them 1 to 10 in 7 different categories. We graded them 1 to 10. Lineup, bench, defense, rotation, bullpen, coaching, and energy. And we did 1 to 10 on each, total of 70. And the Diamondbacks came 21st best team. The Diamondbacks, according to our calculations, are the 21st best team in baseball and the 9th best team in the National League. The Diamondbacks, the Snakes.
The Snakes, the Serpentines. Right? Is that
Serpientes.
Oh, that's what's
Serpentines.
Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. Oh shit. Okay. But the Arizona Diamondbacks, they did, as Alex mentioned, got a lot better this offseason, so it's going to be exciting to just talk about them for 30 minutes, half an hour, a little bit more than that maybe, hopefully.
I can't get over Serpentines.
I know that you can't. Don't worry. I'll kill you later. So let's just kick it right off. Do you wanna rattle off their lineup?
Yeah.
Rattle off.
So their lineup, we gave them a 7.4 out of 10, which is the second highest we've seen so far. 7.4 out of 10. Their lineup, according to Fangraphs, their projected lineup for opening day is Corbin Carroll in left field, Ketel Marte at second base, Jake McCarthy in right field, Christian Walker at first base, Josh Rojas at third base, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. at DH, Alek Thomas in center field, Carson Kelly at catcher, and Nick Ahmed at shortstop. That is their projected lineup for this season. What are the odds that falls? I
don't know.
But yeah, so a couple guys I just want to highlight. First, we'll talk about the trade. They received Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Gabriel Moreno from the Toronto Blue Jays in exchange for Dalton Varsho. So Dalton Varsho is now off the team. It was a good run, but getting Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Gabriel Moreno, it was a good trade. I like Lourdes Gurriel Jr. in this lineup. I like him as a D-back. He feels like a D-back. One
of the most win-win trades of the offseason. Like one of the biggest win-win trades of the offseason for sure. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and a young catching prospect that everyone is very high on, Gabriel Moreno, coming back to...
Moreno,
yeah.
I think every time you say his name, you accidentally say Moreno.
Because I just think about Justin Morneau. I'm a big Justin Morneau fan. But Gabriel Moreno, big fan of his, big fan of Lourdes Gurriel Jr., and I think that they slot in really well into this lineup.
Yeah, Lourdes Gurriel is a big plus for this lineup. A bat that they didn't have last season and honestly makes the team better. Yes, Dalton Varsho is gone, and their defense does take a hit, but Lourdes Gurriel will probably be playing DH, so his bad defense won't really be affecting them as long as he's playing DH.
Or left field.
But even if he's playing left field, the defense does take a little hit. He's not the best defender out there. DH is definitely a great spot for him in this lineup. I'm excited. We need to talk about Corbin Carroll. We need to talk about Corbin Carroll. This guy First round pick in 2019. He will be their starting left fielder. He'll be playing the outfield this season. As you can see, Lewis likes him by his smile. But Corbin Carroll, he kind of just does it all. He can hit homers. He can run. He is the fastest player in baseball by a lot.
By a large
so
margin.
it's going to be really fun to see him try to stretch singles into doubles, doubles into triples, steal bases, just use all his tools to his advantage and be a really, really fun player to watch. A lot of people are early calling him NL Rookie of the Year favorite. So we'll see how that plays out. I am so excited to watch Corbin Carroll this season.
I am so beyond ecstatic. He, like Alex mentioned, the fastest statistical player in baseball. He beats out everybody else by nearly just over a tenth of a second, just under a tenth of a second, which in the terms of baseball, that's the difference between safe and out on infield singles. You know, like it's really close. And Corbin Carroll, he has the wheels to do it. He has the glove, and I'm so excited to get to watch a full season of him taking at bats. Hopefully he stays healthy and he's able to stay at the top of the lineup, because he could really be genuinely a key piece to a rebuild in Arizona. Like, he really could be.
Oh yeah, no. If he plays out of his mind, or he play even Rookie of the Year type caliber, kind of like similar to Julio Rodriguez last year, how Julio played. And you can tell he's going to be a big part of the Mariners team for a long time.
Yeah.
They extended him. He's going to be a big part of that team for a long time, but that's the same kind of thought with Corbin Carroll. If he comes up and he's just going off, and you can tell that he is going to be a big part of this team this year, you can make the argument that they should extend him and he should be part of this team for a long time. I think he's going to have a terrific year. That's my opinion. I think he will have a terrific, terrific year. Last season, he did play in a good amount of games. He played in 32 games, hit 260 with a 130 WRC+. He had 4 homers, 14 RBIs, 2 steals. And I do want to read one stat of Corbin Carroll's that I absolutely love. This is a stat that I discovered not too long ago, but I have it written down somewhere in here. So obviously, also I don't know if we specifically said this, but he is the number 2 overall prospect in baseball this year. His offensive
Number 3, actually.
Number 2. His offensive winning percentage which is a stat that I just discovered and did not know it even existed. On Baseball Reference, and it's basically if you took this player and made an entire lineup out of this player, what that win percentage would be if the team was literally just 9 of him.
Okay.
And it was 624. So that's an 101 win season. That's value right there.
That is value.
It's my new favorite stat that I don't know how it works, but I love the stat. I absolutely love it. If you just have 9 of him in the lineup, that's how many games you would win in a season.
Because he's that much of an impact player. He's really, really good, and I'm just beyond excited to get to watch him play at the MLB level.
Me too. I'm excited to see what he can do in a full season. I'm excited to watch him. It's just, there's not much else to say. I think he has all the tools to be a bona fide stud in this league.
Yeah, for sure.
Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll.
Having a 133 OPS plus in just the small sample size of 32 games, it just looked so good, because there's so much improvement that can be made going from AAA to the majors, and the fact that he made it well enough that he showed so much promise. It's so hard to not say that this guy is going to be the centerpiece of what could be a Diamondbacks team that wants to conquer at the MLB scale once again.
Yeah, I think having him as part of this team is big.
Yeah.
In terms of other guys on this team, Christian Walker, I think, has been one of the most underrated players in recent years.
Agreed.
Christian Walker last season had batted .242 with an .804 OPS, but he hit 36 home runs and had 94 RBIs on a bad Diamondbacks team, had 25 doubles. I think a really underrated player. And every year I kind of get excited to watch. It's similar to a CJ Crone situation. It's very similar to CJ Crone. Just they happen to both be first basemen. I think very underrated, and I think a guy to watch this season.
I agree. Christian Walker will be a highlight of at bats.
Yeah. As for the rest of their outfield presence, you got Alek Thomas, who was another rookie last year, who last year played decently well. He played in 113 games. He only batted .231 with a 619 OPS, but 17 doubles, a triple. He didn't strike out that much, which I think is the biggest thing you're looking for. Only 74 strikeouts in 113 games. Not
especially from a young
that
player.
bad from a rookie. Yeah. That's pretty good. I know his numbers were low, but I would say overall it's not a bad year for a rookie. That's not gonna be like a Julio Rodriguez kind of guy. So I'm excited to see if he can develop and get better next season. This season coming up, rather. And yeah, their infield, Ketel Marte, a guy who was said the last 3 seasons, it feels like we've said he's going to be traded. They have not traded him. They doesn't seem like they plan to. He will be probably manning second most of this year. Last season batted
or DHing, depending on what they do.
Okay. Last season batted .240 with a 727 OPS. So a bit of a down year, I want to say, but we'll see if he can get back up to the type of caliber player we know he can be. In 2019, he batted .329 in 144 games. We'd like to see that Ketel Marte again. So hopefully we can. But yeah, Ketel Marte going to be a big part of this team as always. That's kind of the highlights of this lineup for me. Those few players.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be fun to watch how the Diamondbacks lineup produces throughout the season, especially in an NL West that, again, another season where the NL West is very top heavy, but at the same time, I feel like this lineup could steal some wins away from the Padres, from the Dodgers, from any other team in baseball. It really feels like they have the ability to do that.
Yeah. Although you say stealing wins, last season they really didn't beat the Dodgers, and they got beat up by good teams a lot.
Right, but this is a new look for their lineup, having Corbin Carroll for hopefully a full season, having Lourdes Gurriel Jr., having Gabriel Moreno.
I agree, but I'm just saying they did get beat up by good teams last season.
Hey, that's the past. That's the way that I'm looking at it. That's the past.
You say that, but their team is very similar to last season. I mean, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. isn't going to win you 5 more games against the Padres or the Dodgers. Like, that's not really how that works.
When he has his 9-war season, God, I cannot wait for you to eat your words.
Gotcha. But yeah, no, it's a very similar team to last year as far as the starting lineup goes. We could take a look at their bench now. Their bench, we gave them a 6.5 out of 10, which is the highest we've seen so far, just beating out the Marlins bench. Gabriel Moreno, Evan Longoria, Geraldo Perdomo, and Kyle Lewis. So Gabriel Moreno, like we said, was received in that trade with the Blue Jays. Evan Longoria, they signed him to a 1-year deal this offseason, who I think Evan Longoria is going to be an amazing part of this team. I think he's going to be a really important part of this team as far as leadership goes and as far as just having a good season. I don't necessarily think he's going to be a bench guy, which is what Fangraphs has him as. I think he'll be playing a lot more than that.
Yeah.
And then you got Kyle Lewis, who they also received in a trade from the Mariners, which
shocked many.
It did shock many.
Yeah, Kyle Lewis, although, yes, ever since his rookie season in 2020 with the shortened season, has kind of gone downhill, he still has been good enough to be a part of the Mariners. So when they traded him away to the Diamondbacks, I was both upset because of his time is over in Seattle. However, I'm happy for him because I think getting a fresh start with this Diamondbacks team that looks to be more promising. Not to say that they're going to, go out and sweep the playoffs and win the World Series, but they look to be on the up and up, and I think Kyle Lewis will slot in perfectly no matter where they want to put him.
Yeah, I think it's a good guy to have. I mean, former Rookie of the Year, like you said. I mean, it's a good guy to have on your bench. They did get rid of Cooper Hamel, who last year wasn't great. But at the same time, Kyle Lewis hasn't been great in the last couple of years either since winning the Rookie of the Year. I do think that there's more of an upside of Kyle Lewis that we've seen than there is Cooper Hamel. So I think it was a good trade for the Diamondbacks. Like you said, just have the guy on the bench. He'll probably be playing a decent bit as well. And depending on how he plays, he'll get more playing time, all that fun stuff. And I'd love to see him just go off this year.
I agree.
I'd love to see him return to that Rookie of the Year form.
I think we all would.
Yeah. That's their bench. Pretty good.
As for their defense.
Their defense, we gave it what did we give it, Lewis?
A 6.3.
6.3 out of 10.
Which, now that I think about it, might be a little bit too low, but it does make sense. Fangraphs has Carson Kelly behind the dish. They also have Corbin Carroll playing in left field. I think that he would play in center field. And Alec Thomas would either move to left or he would DH and Gurriel would play left field. So they have a lot of ability to move around pieces and play them in different positions. But I think that a 6.3 is pretty fair because I would say that that's their base mark. I think by the end of the season we could be talking about them being a mid-8, maybe even close to a 9.
Let's not get out of hand here.
It's not out of hand. It's possible.
I think it might be a little. I think a 9 is a little. Saying
that's why I said. That's why I said.
No, I understand, but you're taking away Dalton Varsho, who was the premier defender on this team.
No, I know.
So I think the 6.4 was a fair rating. Dare I even say a little generous? But no, they do have a lot of good defense. Ketel Marte is a good defender at second. Corbin Carroll is going to be good in the outfield no matter where you put him. Same thing with Alec Thomas, and yeah.
Yeah.
Defense 6.4. Next up, we have their rotation, which we gave a 6.7 out of 10. Their rotation is looking like Zach Gallen, who very, very good.
Yeah.
Merrill Kelly, Madison Bumgarner, Zach Davies, and Ryan Nelson. Zach Gallen has Cy Young potential, 100%, and I think this is the year where he is going to be top 3 Cy Young voting. I think he will become the bona fide Zach Gallen, stud this season.
Yeah, I agree with you. I believe last year, if I'm not mistaken, he finished 5th. Yeah, he finished 5th last year in Cy Young voting with a 2.5 ERA over 184 innings. Was just an absolute machine. Was really, really good and is, I think, the by far standout guy that brings up this starting pitching. For sure. Zach Gallen, it looks good. Madison the Clown Bumgarner, I mean, he's getting older. He's still going to pitch. He's going to be 34 during the season. Merrill Kelly, another older guy, but I still think that he has plenty left. He should be good. Zach Davies, not too familiar with
Zach
him.
Davies can be very good. He's certainly a good addition. Not addition, but he's a good part of this rotation.
Yeah, and as for Ryan Nelson, my apologies.
Yeah, he exists.
Yeah, he's
fairly
25 years old though.
Yeah, I was gonna say last year was his first season.
So, do you think it's safe to say that Ryan Nelson could be like the next Randy Johnson? Is that possible?
Well, he only pitched in 3 games last season at the big league level and had a 1.47 ERA. In AAA, he pitched in 26 games and had a 5.43 ERA.
Oh, so he was a dog in AAA.
He had a 5.43 ERA
I thought you said a starter. 35. My apologies.
No. He had a 5.43 ERA. So not amazing, but it's the Diamondbacks. It's a good rotation, but definitely not great. And Zach Gallen makes it good. Without Zach Gallen, this rotation is a lot lower and a lot worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You all right?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, right, we're fine.
He's fine.
We're fine.
He's fine. All right, moving on to their bullpen. Their bullpen, we also gave a 6.7 out of 10.
You did?
The bullpen exists. Andrew Chafin, they signed him. Really good pickup. Love Andrew Chafin.
Comes back.
Yeah, comes back after time. He wasn't. Yeah. Miguel Castro, flamethrower. I really like that signing for them. Scott Mago. They signed him from Japan. Okay, very nice. I can't say I remember that happening. Nice. They have Mark Melanson, who last year was very good. He was their closer. He had how many saves last year? He had 18 saves last year. Yes, a 4.66 ERA, but ERA for relievers doesn't mean much. He had a high whip though, which is bad. I'm just hoping he can have a little bit better of a season next year. So Mark Melanson, but now they have a flamethrower like Miguel Castro. I like the bullpen, but 6.7 definitely seems fair.
The bullpen is definitely fair. It'll be interesting to see who gets what opportunities and who falls into what roles, because I do feel like it's very volatile right now between all of the relievers. Like, anyone could be the mid reliever guy, anyone could be the closer on any given day, just depending on what's happening or what's going on with the other team's lineup,
Yep.
We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay, moving on. Coaching. We gave them a 6.7 out of 10 again.
Back to back to back.
Good coaching. I don't have much to say about their coaching.
Yeah,
Torrey, I believe it's Livolo, is their manager. Well, I know it's Livolo. Torrey Livolo. I don't have much to say.
Neither do I. I think he's a very good coach. I think that this is going to be a good opportunity for him to show how good this team can be.
Okay. And then finally, we have their energy, which we gave a 7.4 out of 10. I think this team can make some noise, and I think they can have some fun this season.
Yeah. Evan Longoria, I think, is going to be the heart and soul behind it. Although he is an older player in the terms of like how this lineup is structured and who is on this team, I think that he's still a very vocal guy. He's a outspoken, very big social media presence. No matter what social media you're looking on, you can find Evan Longoria, and I think that he's going to really connect well with these players and show them how to express themselves, and not just express themselves, but do it properly and not become so much of like, oh, we really have to play these guys, like, oh, we get to play these guys, let's see how much fun they are, type of guys, and that's what I'm looking forward to. That's why I gave them a high ranking.
That's fair. I think I was the one who gave them a little bit lower of a ranking. We averaged our both scores out to make these rankings. I think I gave them a little bit lower. Like, I see a couple of these guys making noise, but I can't see like every day them coming out and being like, say, the Padres, and it's just like every game, every play is more electric than the last. And
yeah,
I don't see that happening. But 7.4 seems a little high to me. But
I think it
it's
fits.
fine.
I think it fits.
Now we'll go into the fun part of. Do you want to do your rookie report first?
Of course.
All right, Lewis's rookie report.
So obviously we could continue to talk about Corbin Carroll, but there are a couple of more rookies that the Diamondbacks have that you definitely should keep your eye on. One of them being Drew Jones, Andrew Jones's son. He just got drafted, but just want to put his name out there because I think that he's going to ascend the ranks quickly. He looks to be a very, very good player, and I'm really hoping that he does well in the future and does well this season, and hopefully we'll see him in the lead in the next couple of years.
Yeah, he was injured all of last season, so that was a pretty big setback.
Yeah. As for this upcoming season, is there any prospect that we might be able to see? Yes. Jordan Lawler, shortstop, he's ranked 12th by the MLB in their prospect rankings out of the top 100. Last year, he went from rookie ball to Double-A, and the team is projecting that he starts the year in Triple-A. Over 4 different leagues, rookie ball, A-ball, high A-ball, and Double-A, he hit .303 with a .910 OPS in 100 games exactly. I mean, he was great, stole nearly 40 bases, finished at 39, and had 16 homers, which is like nothing to be crazy about. But in the desert, you don't really need homers. It's a big outfield out there. He has speed. He has a great glove. He plays shortstop, so it'll be fun to see where they kind of slide him in. And the only issue that I have with him is that he does strike out a little bit. He struck out 115 times last year. So hopefully he can get that down a little bit, because this guy is set to become what I think is going to be another staple piece alongside Corbin Carroll when it comes to the rebuild of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I like it. Jordan Waller. Keep
Jordan
him on the
Waller.
list. 11th overall prospect in baseball. Yeah. Now, our team MVPs for both hitters and pitchers. Who will be their MVP hitter this season, Lewis?
I'm going to go with Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll will be the team MVP offensively this season. And not so much because I think he's going to bat 300 or anything. I think Corbin Carroll steals 35 or more bases this season.
Okay. I'm gonna stay with Christian Walker. I think, yes, Corbin Carroll will be amazing, but I think Christian Walker is just, he's been that guy for so long. I hope he has a 40 home run season. I hope he just hits bombs this season. So I'm going to go with him. MVP pitcher, who you got?
Do you want to say it at the same time?
Yeah, 3, 2, 1.
Zach
Gallen. Yeah, Zach
Yep,
Gallen.
It's so cut and dry. I mean, I think we're both very, very high on him. And we should be, deservedly so. Every year since he came into the league, he has upped his inning count. And I think it's all building up to this season where we see the best version of him so far.
Yep, there you go. Fair.
Yep.
Now, the most fun part of the video.
Okay.
I am going to say the 2023 Diamondbacks will be, and you will tell me what place you think they will be in this season. Lewis, the 2023 Arizona Diamondbacks will be in
Third place.
third
In the NL West.
place. I'll go with that. I'll agree. I'll agree with you. If it makes you happy, I'll agree with you.
It actually makes me really sad.
Okay, so then I'm gonna agree with you. Yeah. So third place in the NL West, we think they're gonna surprise some people this season. That'll do it for this episode. We thank you guys for listening, watching, viewing, subscribing, commenting, sharing, following, sharing again, following it again, sharing. And thank you guys for listening. We love you guys. And you missed. Let's go Diamondbacks. Let's go D-backs. Let's go D-backs. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.